This is the story about the turkey. Or maybe it's the ham. Yeah, I think it was the ham. I don't know. It could have been a turkey. I forget. It was a long time ago. But when I was living in Dallas, Texas, I was helping my husband go through A&P school, which is airplane and power plant. It's an airplane mechanic. I felt really guilty leaving my children in Satellite Beach, Florida, but they were like very close to being adults. So I wanted to surprise them for this really nice dinner. So I contacted my daughter's best friend. His name was Mike, and I sent him $50. Now this is 25 years ago. $50 bought a lot. And I said, go to the store and get them rolls and vegetables and a ham or whatever it was. Now, I don't know if he went or if he gave the money to my daughter. I don't know. I think I told him to go so she wouldn't use the money for something else, you see. So my son was living with her in her little apartment, and they were so excited. They were so excited to have a meal cooked in the oven for Thanksgiving, and I felt so good about it. And then I found out what happened. It was awful. When my son tasted, I guess it was the turkey. Yeah, it had to be a turkey. When my son tasted the turkey, he goes, oh God, it's awful. What did you do? He's talking to his sister. After careful examination, she realized that she cooked the turkey with the pot holder inside of the body. My son was so mad. Oh, he was so heartbroken. And of course, my daughter was too, but I think this is her first time ever cooking a turkey. So watch out for them pot holders. Now, this was the pot holder that had that shiny silver stuff, you know. I guess it was a heat-resistant stuff, so it gave the turkey that chemical smell. So they laughed about this for a very long time. Now, I have a similar story about my turkey. I was cooking a turkey, and I kept smelling this awful, awful smell. And it wouldn't go away. It kept getting more and more intense. So finally, after the turkey came out, I had this feeling, pushed the stove out, and I had cooked a mouse. A mouse was trapped on the back of the stove. You know, it wasn't in the stove, but the smell was putrid. I mean, putrid. This mouse had just gotten stuck, and, you know, I lived in a very remote place, so mice was like an everyday thing. So here's another turkey story. This one's a little sad. My mother was a CNA. She always watched elderly people, and she was watching this very well-off woman down the street. I forgot her name. But my mother's stove stopped working, and she knew 35 people were like coming to her house the next day or the same day. I forget how it went. So without telling the woman, I mean, the woman was like 90 years old, she goes and takes her turkey and puts it in this woman's oven. Well, one of her family members showed up and said, what the hell are you doing? What's this turkey doing in my mom's oven? My mom got fired. Yeah, so sad to be fired on Thanksgiving. But that's the kind of mother I had. She was relentless. Food was very important in our house. You did not go anywhere on Thanksgiving or Christmas because my dad would take all day, and there's no lie, all day just to cook, just to cut up the celery and the onions. I still don't know how he, you know, could stand all that with, you know, crying or whatever, but he always had his butcher knives sharpened, and I had to stand next to the sink because he would hand me bowls to wash constantly. That was my job, you know. When my mother and daddy were in the kitchen, you did not prepare food. You watch them prepare food. And many meals, I would, if any of us complimented a certain dish, my mother and father would get in an argument saying, well, that was my recipe. Well, no, that was my recipe. And this would go on, and that was what tickled all of us, is that they would get into nice little arguments about who cooked what, whose recipe, and it made the holidays wonderful. But I wanted to show you this. This is from Chico's. It's like a sateen finish. Sateen finish. It's got green in it. And the scarf is from Chico's. I just love it. It's very holiday. Don't you like it? Yeah. I like to dress up during the holidays. Bye. I hope you like my stories.